All right, hey guys, Dr. Sean here. So I'm just chilling out this morning, hanging out, and we've been seeing a lot of headlines lately about the rise in colon cancer among young people. Now, historically, this was something doctors mostly worried about after the age of 50. But now we're seeing more and more diagnosis in people under 45, sometimes even in their 20s and 30s, and this is alarming. So the obvious question is, what changed, right? There isn't one simple answer, but there are a few big suspects. First, in the modern diet, highly processed foods, refined sugars, artificial additives, all the emulsifiers and the preservatives, they just become a major part of our food chain. And many of these ingredients can alter the gut environment and the bacteria living in that colon. Now, these didn't exist 50, 60, 70, 100 years ago. It's a modern thing. And that brings us to a second major factor, this gut microbiome. See, your colon is home to trillions of bacteria. And when they're in balance, they help digest, they help immune regulation, they help maintaining the integrity of that intestinal lining, that belly that you got, right? So when that ecosystem becomes disrupted, from all these processed foods, from our overuse of antibiotics, from environmental chemicals, and all the chronic stress we're under, certain bacteria begin producing toxins that start irritating the lining of that colon, and they can even damage your DNA over time. Now, chronic irritation and inflammation in that environment is where disease can really start to take hold. Researchers are now closely looking at environmental exposures, things like pesticides and herbicides and all the microplastics you hear about and all those hormone and endocrine disrupting chemicals that have become pretty much impossible to avoid in our modern life. It's one of the reasons why I made the Elixir Vitae. So this may not just be about genetics or family history anymore, right? It may be more about the environment we're living in and the food system we've created. There are also lifestyle factors that matter. Lack of movement, metabolic dysfunction, obesity, excessive alcohol intake, smoking, things of that nature. All these can increase inflammation and put additional stress on your digestive system. Now, when it comes to symptoms, there are a few things people should never ignore. Blood in the stool is a big one, right? Persistent changes in your bowel habits, unexplained abdominal pain, unexplained weight loss, or some kind of ongoing chronic fatigue that just doesn't make sense to you. Those are the signals that deserve attention. Now, the recommended screening age has been lowered now to 45 for people with strong family history or concerning symptoms. Testing may need to be even happening earlier now because of all this. But I'll say something here that sometimes gets lost in this conversation, and I think it's really important. A colonoscopy doesn't prevent colon cancer. It detects it. It looks for tumors or polyps that might eventually become cancerous. Right? But the real question is, should we be asking why those polyps and tumors are forming in the first place? Why aren't we looking for that? Because if colon cancer is showing up earlier and earlier in life, the big issue may be what we're doing to the human gut through diet, environment, and lifestyle. Prevention still comes back to the basics, right? Whole food, adequate fiber, healthy metabolism, regular movement, and minimizing all that ultra-processed junk that just disrupts that gut ecosystem. Your digestive tract, guys, isn't just a food tube. It's a living biological system that affects metabolism, immunity, and your overall inflammation and health. Take care of that system, and it will usually take pretty good care of you. Now, the doubting Thomas and me, my thought I like to throw in there is that if colonoscopies were the real solution to colon cancer, we'd expect the disease to be disappearing, not showing up earlier and earlier and younger in our life. Marley here is 14, hanging out, doing her thing, right? She eats well, she takes care of herself, and doesn't seem to have any colon problems. Guys, I'm Dr. Sean. I'm the Robin Hood of Healthcare.